Welcome to our program. I am Karen Hunter Jackson, co-owner of One Community Alliance Network, a North Dade-based community-focused organization. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our guest today and a little bit about a little background on why we're here today. During a recent visit to our area, USDA HUD Secretary Marcia Fudge called Miami the epicenter, that meaning the ground zero of the nation's housing affordability crisis. Since 1995, the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust, or we're going to refer to it as MDEAT, has invested more than 45 million, that's 45 million, to help nearly 8,000 residents purchase homes in Miami-Dade County. The agency is hosting a housing hub. So listen closely, a housing hub at Jazz in the Gardens this weekend. I'm going to say it again, a housing hub at Jazz in the Gardens this weekend. I invited Vincent Burnett, Outreach and Training Specialist with MDEAT, remember Miami-Dade Economic Trust. He's with the Housing Division to discuss the Housing Hub and how you can cash in on MDEAT grants to purchase a home in Miami-Dade County. So this is going to be interesting. If you don't have a home, you want to listen closely and you want to share this information with with your family, with your friends, with whomever. But a lot of us are out there who need to purchase homes, and this is gold. Okay, so listen closely. So now we're going to talk with Vincent, and I'm going to start with some questions, and we're just going to have this conversation here. So Vincent, talk about the goals and recent work at Miami-Dade Economic Trust Housing Division.
Okay, first of all, Karen, I'd like to thank you for having me here. And it's a silent A. It's MD, but it's Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust. So the A is silent, but we do say MD. But yeah, basically our goals at Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust, we're here for the equitable participation of Blacks in Miami-Dade County, in all areas: housing, economic development, and youth services. I'm in the housing division, and we're just trying to fight the fight that helps Blacks have their fair shake, equitable participation in housing. We know Miami-Dade County is the epicenter of this housing crisis, and also not only just Blacks, but all of the moderate income families. And you're right, we've funded over $45 million since 1995, 8,000 families, and which about over 3,100 of those families have been Black families in Miami-Dade County. So we're just here to just try to fight the fight to get our fair shake of equitable participation as it relates to housing in Miami-Dade County.
Great, great. And what is your role with the housing division?
Okay, specifically my role, I'm the outreach training specialist. And basically, as part of that fight, we provide grant assistance of $28,000 up to $28,000 to first-time home buyers. Used to be first-time home buyers. Now it's any low to moderate income buyer who's seeking to purchase a home in Miami-Dade County, of which that will be their prime. And my role is threefold. I train the mortgage lenders, their responsibilities, how to participate in our program. I train the general public as far as making them aware of this opportunity and the urgency of now to try to get their piece of the pie in Dade County for housing. And basically I do events like these just to get the word out with wonderful people like you who want to partner and collaborate us in this fight for equitable participation, specifically as it relates in housing.
Oh, great, great. So give our viewers the details about MDEAT's Housing Hub at Jazz in the Gardens.
Wow. Okay. Now you get to the point. Now,
yes.
I guess that's a new weapon in our tool chest of fighting that fight, and as far as our outreach efforts. Basically, we know the urgency of now of homeownership and the inequities that we Blacks have faced in Miami-Dade County, and we just said, you know what? I mean, we could be in our office and you can call and go to our website, but let's come to the people. And in the midst of looking at Erykah Badu, Charlie Wilson, Jodeci, well, I will admit, don't tell my boss that, I might sneak away from the hub just a little bit to catch some of those sounds, but basically, we want to just bring it to the people in a light way where we're not asking somebody to come with their W-2 or their pay stub, but just make them aware of the opportunities that we're providing in this community, and in a feel good way where we're right there with the people in an organic way. And again, I might get reprimanded for it, but hey, it's going to be down home where it's a casual conversation. You come to our booth. We're going to have resources there. I think a counseling agent may be there, or you just pick up a hand sanitizer, and a bottle of water, and know that we're out there providing grants, providing housing opportunities. And after it's all over, I might be right next to you with my headphones on, rocking and vibing to Erykah Badu and Jodeci as well.
There you go. There you go. Okay. So next question. Does the Housing Assistance Program, we're going to call it HAP, directly work with prospective homeowners? And what can the grants be used for?
Great question. Technically, we don't work directly with the home. We work with the homeowners in this. We're out there on one phone call away, one text message away. Well, I'll speak to any and everybody. But officially, the process of the flow chart is that homeowner has to get approved through their first lender. The first lender submits a package on their behalf, and then we step in with down payment closing cost assistance. As I mentioned, that'll be flooding you with number. We give up to $28,000, and it can be used towards your down payment, your closing costs, or any combination of the two. So we try to make the load. There's a lot of barriers in home ownership, and one of them is best credit, best job, best everything, no money. So we try to step in that gap, and we try to give as much as we can at this point in time. So that's, I guess that's our role. And the grants, like I said, can be stated for that acquisition of that home, down payment, or the closing costs.
Wow, that's a lot. That's amazing. Next question, what are the qualifications and how can people apply for the grant? Now we're getting to the nitty
Great
gritty.
question. Into the nitty gritty. So I'm gonna catch all the details now. So all of y'all who going to Jazz and Garden, y'all see this interview, so y'all can ask me, minimize the questions for both yourself as well as me. One is a test whether I answer the questions right today, and secondly, so we both can enjoy the concert. But basically, the details are you have to be willing to purchase a home in Miami-Dade County, or what you're going to stay in. Now, you don't have to stay in it forever, but you have to, at that point in time, at the time of acquisition, it's intended to be your primary residence. There are some income levels. You have to be determined low to moderate based upon your family size. I'm not going to be fuddling you with numbers. And basically, that's where I mentioned like working with your loan officer. And you can pick any loan officer that you desire. We will have some, I believe Bank of America may be there at our housing hub, and they're one of our partners. But ultimately, whether it's Bank of America who's at the housing hub or any other lending entity, you can pick any loan officer you desire that we're willing to work with, and they apply on your behalf for the grants as long as you meet the income limitations, and it's going to be your primary residence.
Oh, great. So, so they'll be able to party with a purpose.
Party with a purpose. Yes.
There you go. Does HAP provide any housing education?
Yes, I'm twofold again. Education is always just telling one person another and keeping that information, whether it's a fellow coworker, a fellow Jazz in the Garden party goer. Our website is always active as an active component. And again, partners like yourself, and I commend you for the job you're doing, reaching out to through the general public, through your mass media forum. And the more structured portion of the education, where there's HUD certified counseling agencies. We don't do that, but I usually give like an hour presentation. Well, 30 minutes, but it takes me an hour because you can tell I take the long version to answer questions. But we make the opportunity of our subsidies available in those HUD counseling sessions, and those HUD counseling agents can give more detail to that prospective borrower, all the steps to the home buying process. But that's not going to be discussed at Jazz in the Garden. But yes, that's how we provide housing education support.
Okay, I'm here in my home office, so you may hear some music from a car passing by wanting to share all of their wonderful music with us. But moving on, how does MD work with lenders and other down payment assistance programs?
Great question. You can really get into the nitty gritty. The more I answer now, the more time I get to party on Saturday and Sunday. Basically, we work with as we stated, we have some lenders, we call them HAP participants, who are a little more familiar with our program, and they may make the road a little easier, but in fairness to the bar can use any lender they desire. But ultimately, our primary way we work with them, we provide them the education, the forms, appropriate documentations that they need to facilitate a loan on behalf of their borrower. Obviously, we're providing the subsidy assistance, and oh, I almost forgot the best part. Some lenders work with, like, the city of Miami. I gotta mention, the city of Miami Garden has a housing program. So if a lender is approved with the city of Miami Garden, then that lender can in turn apply with us, and it's called stacking or layering, where they can get the city of Miami Garden. I believe it's 20,000 if I'm not mistaken, and they can get the 20,000 from the city of Miami Garden, and 28,000 from us, as well as I believe that there's other county agencies that provide funds. So that bar potentially can get up to maybe $100,000 in housing assistance. We can't give it all, but we'll work with the lender, other government entities on behalf of that borrower. And it starts with that lender who's knowledgeable and aware of all the funding opportunities out there, and that's approved with all the respective sources.
Okay, do you have to be a first-time home buyer to qualify?
Great question. Now, officially from our program, you do not. You just have to be determined a low to moderate buyer who's genuinely and interested going to occupy the property. So from that framework, you'll get 28,000 or 14,000, depending where you fall on the economic pendulum for your household size. And that's all you need. Low to moderate determination, primary residence, and get approved by your first lender. However, back to the previous question, if you're seeking funds from another agency, another funding source, typically they require you to be a first-time home buyer. And that's determined, obviously, you never owned a home before or never had title to a home within the past 3 years. So if you only want I-28 or I-14, no, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. But if you're pooling it with other sources, it's the most stringent of the rules, and they may probably require such.
I see. Okay, well, great. But I mean, there's something out there for everyone, it seems.
Right. You got to start somewhere. So it's no indictment. Like you, Miss Karen, I'm not sure. You said you're at your home office, so I'm not sure if you own or rent, however. But most people who already have their home, they probably won't pay me. Well, they probably won't pay me no attention, minus the bottle of water and the hand sanitizer. And that's cool too. But everybody knows somebody who's seeking their first home. And so we're all going to have fun at the Jazz. But now we're going to gravitate to that first-time home buyer, not for me, but because the other agencies may require such. And even if you already owned your home and you sold it, or you own one, with your brothers and sisters where you may have been previously on title or currently on title, but that's Big Mama's house, that's Grandma's house, that's Big Daddy's house. Now you're ready. You still want to stay in Miami Gardens, but you still want to stay in the community. You still want to be connected to, you can buy your house anywhere in Miami-Dade County, but just because you had title with your brothers and sisters on Big Mama's house, you're not considered a first-time home buyer, but you are a ready and willing applicant for our program, and we can enjoy the concert with all layers of entities, homeowners and aspiring homeowners, and those who may be on title with Big Mama.
Okay. I definitely have some folk I'm sending your way. But what types of properties are eligible for the program to be funded?
Great question. Single family, townhomes, condominiums. The obvious question. I mean, one folio, one property. That's probably the best way to sum it up. So therefore, the duplexes, the triplexes, and the quadruplexes are ineligible. And again, it has to be a property that you intend to stay in. And a good way to define it, the property, I've been working, immediately habitable. What that means in layman's language, meaning the property must be ready to move in. The day you sign that paperwork and go to the closing and the seller gets the keys to the check, the seller gets the check for the house, you want the keys to the house where you can move in and have your house party right then and there.
I like that. Are there any other initiatives that the housing division is working on?
Ooh, making me work hard. I'm only going to speak
much?
briefly on this. No, it's not too much. It's great. The more I answer now, I'm only going to speak briefly on that. And and that information vaguely will be available at the Housing Hub. If I don't answer enough, you can call our office, or you can inquire more of these initiatives. While I enjoy the concert, but basically, what we're doing in the housing division, we have a land acquisition, a rehab program, I'm not sure the name. Pardon me. Developer initiative, where basically we're trying to develop the housing stock to provide more affordable housing, working with developers. And probably one of interest may be, now I think I got that existing homeowner, our rehab program, for rehabilitation up to $50,000, certain qualifying criteria. Again, I don't want to get into details with that, but yeah, we are doing something for that existing homeowner as well, and as well as development of affordable house development and expansion of affordable housing stock in Miami-Dade County. Yes.
Okay, so how can we contact you and get more information about the agency?
Okay, I'm always available. My email is vincent.burnett@miamidade.gov. I know that's a lot to remember, or you just type in miamidade.gov, MD. That A is silent, MDEAT, Miami-Dade Economic Trust, Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust, miamidade.gov, MD, or miamidade.gov, MD HAP. If you can only remember MD HAP, just say, I want to speak to that housing guy.
One other question. Does the applicant have to be a Miami-Dade County resident or Florida resident or any kind of resident status?
Well, resident status legal to be here in the United States, and maintain their own property. Because some people are on temporary status, but other than that, no. As long as you're willing to purchase a property in Miami-Dade County, and ideally in the beautiful city of Miami, they'll love having you. They have a home buying program, and get your piece of the pie. And I'm asking my patrons who come on out, if you spread the word. If you already have your piece of the pie, spread the word for your son, your daughter, your granddaughter, and if they're a legal resident authorized to be here, and whether it's 30 years or 10 or 20 years, but at that point in time, they want to purchase property in Miami-Dade County and help us in our fulfillment of our goals for the equity participation of Blacks and low to moderate income families, come on board. But you will be a Miami-Dade County resident on the day of your closing.
Okay, it's time for our commercial. So listen up, everybody. Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust Board and Bank of America present the Housing Hub at Jazz in the Gardens 2023 Music Festival. That's this weekend. Do not miss it. That's Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust and Bank of America. It's Saturday, March 11th and Sunday, March 12th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Hard Rock Stadium, 347 Don Shula Drive, Miami Gardens, Florida. So how can they find you? You're muted.
Okay. I didn't hear all the questions, but I heard, how can you find me?
Yes.
If you're talking Saturday, I'm not sure our exact location where we will be, but we'll be somewhere in Sponsors Row. Look for the Housing Hub by Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust, MD. MD and Bank of America sponsoring the hub. We'll have some housing counseling agencies. I'm not sure. I mean, we had preliminary discussion. I think we might have somebody moonwalking. I know we're going to have a 360. And and Karen, it's not too late. I know you seem like a very professional woman, but if you want to moonwalk for housing, we're working on to have a moonwalker, but we're going to have a 360. We're going to give out that information. We're going to have a great time, and as a starting point to getting our piece of the pie, and for the community we serve as it relates to housing.
Great. If it's a fundraiser, I'll do it.
Oh, okay. Got conditions. Okay.
Yes, but we'll find you on that corporate row, where they have the other corporations and nonprofits and those kinds of things. It's easy to find. I go by there every year, so I'm sure everyone will be able to find you. So people, want to tell you one last time, you don't want to miss this. It does not come by every day. And this is a wonderful opportunity for people to get that first home or to get into your next home. The opportunities are there. You just have to reach out. They'll be there. They'll be waiting for you. Bring your conch salad, your chicken wings, your corn on the cob, whatever. Just get your snack and bring it on by to MD and check and find out or apply for your first time or second home. But get that information, grab someone by the hand and bring them with you. You don't want to miss this. And Vincent, I want to thank you so much for doing all that you all do for the community. And we appreciate you and thank you for being our guest today.
Okay, thank you, Karen. And again, MiamiDade Economic Advocacy Trust, the A is silent, MD, MDEAT. That's all you have to do if you do a Google search, whatever. So you did mention how do you find us? That's how I mentioned see Karen moonwalking at the housing hub, but most importantly, MDEAT HAP. We're not going nowhere. We've been around since '95, and we'll still be there on Saturday and Sunday at Jazz in the Garden, and in the community. We're here, and I'm here to avail myself to anyone.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, viewers, and have a wonderful day and see you at Jazz in the Gardens.
Thank you.